the Classic Ford Show 2023, the West London Classic Ford crew. A straight through exhaust or a broken exhaust?
You come flying past at about 300 mile an hour.
300 mile an hour? It's only a 1300 E.
Yeah.
Got an exhaust leak. Anyone brought a welder? Oh, listen to the noise. Oh dear, gone the wrong way. Oh dear. Oh well, it's only a car. My stand is full of seriously cool Fords. Love a bubble arched Mark 1. Dedicated race car at the moment. He's tempted to put it back on the road. So beautiful. Mark 2 Fiesta. See you, mate. Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and today is the day of the Classic Ford Show 2023 at the South of England Showground in Ardingly. Now I've actually got my own club stand at the show today, but so have the West London Classic Ford crew. So I'm going to be convoying to the event with these guys. We're actually going to be stopping off at another spot on the way as well. But yeah, just check out all these super cool Classic Fords, Jay's Capri, Ian's RS2000 Mark II, that's Wayne's Mark II RS2000, Lawrence's Mark III Fiesta RS Turbo, Inky's Mrs. Mark IV Escort Cabriolet. We've got Kev just showing up in his Cosy YB powered Olympic Blue Mark I, Paul Tucker's Mark I, Inky's P100, now back on the road after its changes that it's had recently. Just beyond the crowd we can see Dean's Mark I Fiesta, aka Smoothie. We've got Jay's Mark II Fiesta. He's got two of his cars out today. Really cool estate. Love that thing. Got Barry's Zetec Turbo Orion. Got my old banger over here. Wes's Zetec Turbo Fiesta. My beautiful girlfriend Kat's Fiesta. That's our van today. We've got a really cool Sierra XR 4x4 I assume. And a Mark I Focus RS. Yeah, plenty of cool cars in this convoy. And I think we're going to be hitting the road in a sec. Now, I was actually around the garage yesterday giving this thing a wash and checking the diff oil and the gearbox oil, which were both fine. I also bled the clutch and adjusted the pedal stop on my clutch pedal slightly, just to let the pedal go down a little bit more, because I noticed that the gearbox was crunching into fifth on the way to the Mark II Mitch gathering, so we'll see whether that prevents the crunch. But one thing's for sure, the input shaft on this gearbox is really noisy. Like, it is ridiculous. So yeah, probably going to be changing this gearbox before not too long. Past this Sierra on the way. Is that a straight through exhaust or a broken exhaust? Now the other lot are only a couple of minutes behind me, but check out what we got here. Really cool Mark I that we've seen before. I think this is the ST170 Turbo Mark II that we've seen before. Oh, my beautiful girlfriend has arrived. So yeah, the others must literally be a few seconds away. We know about this Larry Crossway powered Mark II. Mr. Pockneys.
You come flying past at about 300 mile an hour, and then it went boom.
300 mile an hour? It's only a 1300 E.
Yeah.
Yeah, it appears the Volvo turbo powered Sierra has indeed got an exhaust leak. Anyone brought a welder? No? Matthew's Cortina estate looking fresh. Next to my old banger we've got Jamie's SI Fiesta, and then the 100E that was with us at the Ace Cafe the other day. Beautiful Mark I Escort Super next to that. And right on cue, the West London lot have arrived. Now, in the back of this truck is a secret project that belongs to Kev with the Olympic Blue Mark I. I have seen pictures of it, but I've been sworn to secrecy. But yeah, wait till you guys see that. We've got Barry, who's not on his rev limiter at the moment. That thing lives on the rev limiter. So yeah, literally, this car park has been taken over by Classic Fords. Should we get a coffee? Oh, listen to the noise. What a racket. Oh, Mark 1 Cortina behind that truck. Mark 2 Fiesta there. Another Mark 2 Fiesta. The crowd got bigger while we were here. Oh dear, gone the wrong way. Gonna have to take some rally roads. Oh dear. Oh, the low life. Oh. Lower your car, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Oh well, it's only a car. May have just lost all the time I made up. All right, well, the show is well underway. The weather is awesome. The turnout of this show looks pretty decent, although I have actually been on my stand the whole time so far. And yeah, my stand is full of seriously cool Fords. Been chatting to loads of people, which is always awesome at the shows. My flag up over here. Obviously got the gazebo over there with the merchandise. My beautiful girlfriend Kat is dealing with all of that. But yeah, I think while I've got an opportunity, it's about time I started waving my camera at the cars that have come down to join me today. First up on the stand, check out the Mark 1 Fiesta in gold. Really cool. Loving the brown interior. Awesome thing. Looks pretty original. 1.1 popular. Behind that we've got Ant's Mark 2 Mondeo, which we've seen loads of times before on the really cool soft line rims. This thing is absolutely mint. Got to be one of the best Mark II Mondeos left. A really cool Mark 1 Escort over here. Absolutely love the split rims it's sitting on. It's bubble arched. Got a blacktop Zetec lump in the bay. Really love these BDA style rocker covers. This one's running on side draft Webers. Got a really, really nice alloy rad. And a HPE stainless exhaust manifold. Yeah, I was chatting to the owner of this earlier on. Awesome bit of kit. Really tidy interior in it as well. Got a Spring-Elex steering wheel. Love a bubble arched Mark 1. Guy was telling me he's got a whole fleet of cars. In fact, his 12-year-old son's got 2 cars. Got Roger the plastic Fiesta over here on van duties today. We've got Wes's Zetec Turbo Mark 4 Fiesta Sleeper. Absolutely love this thing. Sitting on the Cozzy rims. And yeah, nowadays he's got all the intercooler and stuff hidden, although today he did notice he's got a bit of a crack in this spotlight, which he actually modified to make the boost pipes fit. So yeah, he needs to sort that out. And next to that we've got my old banger with her bonnet up, and next to that a Cozzy powered Mark II Escort RS2000. Love these covers on the headlights. Yeah, check out the Cozzy setup. Now this thing, I've actually been offered a passenger ride in at Santa Pod, and that'll be happening at the Ford show later on in the year. Yeah, this thing came down on a trailer. Loving the plastic windows with the sliders. Currently only got 1 seat fitted, but he is going to fit a passenger seat for my passenger ride. Yeah, really racy cockpit. Loving the switch panel. Got a Digi Dash, OMP steering wheel, sequential gearbox. Yeah, this thing's an absolute tool, all caged and stuff. In the boot, he's actually got a proper, really small fuel cell. So yeah, this is a proper dedicated race car at the moment, although he was telling me that he's tempted to put it back on the road. Next to that, beautiful Mark 1 Cortina that we saw at the petrol station, the stop on our convoy. It's running an NA Cozzy YB. Check that out. Really like the alloy cam belt cover, running on a set of side draft carbs. Got some sort of ducting. Don't know, does that let cool air into the cockpit? Not sure. Yeah, huge alloy rad on it. Yeah, really cool thing. Loving those rims. They are Compomotive. Still got the original style seats in it and stuff, but it does have a full roll cage. Aftermarket steering wheel. Loving all the gauges and stuff. Rocking the official Classic Ford Show stickers that I had made up. Loving the look of this thing, white with the blue stripes. Mark 1 Cortinas are definitely my favourite Cortinas. Next to that, really cool Mark 1 Fiesta. Actually saw this at Margate last year when we went down to the Oso Retro show. Loving the pepper pot rims that it's sitting on, and absolutely love the roof rack. Really cool. Does have some sort of aftermarket steering wheel on it. This thing's awesome. The owner was telling me that he is collecting parts to take this thing off the road and tie it up a bit and convert it to run a bigger engine. And he was saying that that roof rack might be for sale soon. And yeah, I've said to him, get in touch, because I might want to buy that to put on Heidi, one of my Mordor Mark II Escorts. A couple of Mark II Fiestas here. I'm pretty sure we saw both of these owners at Margate last year as well. Definitely this one. This one's really cool, really interesting colour. Still sitting on the original steels and stuff. Yeah, still completely original by the looks of it. Really cool. And then yeah, this blue one, I think this is the same colour as Mark II Mitch's one. Loving the Fiesta thing on the rear screen. It's got some cool old adverts on the parcel shelf. Another one that looks really, really clean. This one is sitting on a really nice set of gold Millilite rims. Loving this Capri Laser with the rims that are very similar to Escort RS rims. Yeah, this thing's really clean. Looks to be pretty original. Awesome. Loving the little spoiler on the boot lid. That will have a 2-litre Pinto in it, of course, being a 2-litre Laser. Next to that, a Mark VI Escort with bonnet vents. Wondering what's under the bonnet. Some sort of aftermarket rims on it. A Code aftermarket steering wheel. Loving the Ford mud flaps. And it's got a Larry sound system in it as well. Check out this arched Mark II Escort sitting on the 15-inch RS style alloys. Really cool. Pretty sure that's a Zetec lump with some sort of different rocker cover on it. Is that supposed to look like a twin cam rocker cover maybe? Not sure. It's got a retro Ford water rail and it's running on side drafts. Really cool alloy rad, and it's got a remote servo because you obviously don't have room for it in the normal place when you fit a Zetec. A pair of fishnet Recaros in it and RS steering wheel. Loving the sticker on the dash. Really cool Mark II. Harrier. Next to that, really Larry looking familiar Mark II Fiesta. We actually saw this in Margate last year as well. Check out all the stickers around it, done up like a bit of a rally car. Speaking of stickers, got a MH decal, an OG Esther sticker, and we've got one of the charity stickers that I released last year. Probably going to be releasing these again actually, for those of you that want to help me raise money for the Parkinson's disease charity for when we go over to Northern Ireland for the Summit Run and Show. But yeah, this thing's pucker with the wide arches, got a roll cage inside, pair of OMP buckets in there and TRS harnesses, all the switches and stuff on the dash, some sort of LCD display. Really rude looking Mark II Fiesta. And over here we've got another Mark II Fiesta. This one's a 1.1L sitting on what I think are Capri Laser rims. Pretty smart interior. These look really cool in blue. Check out the Mark III Escort next to that. I'm guessing it's a Ghia with all the chrome trim. Blacktop Zetec in the bay, running on twin choke Weber, I think that is. It is a Ghia. Pretty original looking inside, and yeah, with it being a Ghia, it's got the spoiler on the back and stuff, and it's another one that looks like it's sitting on the Capri Laser rims. Check out this Modana green Mark I Escort, so beautiful, running an ST170 lump with the retro Ford water rail. It's got a Piper stainless exhaust manifolding system like mine, got the retro Ford hoses, running on ITBs. Yeah, this thing's awesome. The owner was telling me that the whole front end has been replaced. Really like the badges. ST2000. This is of course a RS2000 colour. Some sort of bucket seats in there that have actually got ST2000 embroidered in them as well. Really cool OMP harnesses. It's got a Spring-Elex steering wheel. Rev counter hanging out of where the heater vent should be. Loads of extra gauges on the centre console. Yeah, all stripped, no carpets and stuff. Roll cage in the back. Yeah, this thing is beautiful. And it's sitting on the Lotus steel rims. Next to that, another ST170 powered beast. This time a Mark II Fiesta. Love the colour, looks really good with the black pepper pots. and the smoked indicators, and loving the colour-coded rocker cover on the ST170 lump with the hydro-dipped carbon spark plug cover. Yeah, this thing's really tidy, really cool stainless manifold on it. It's running on bike carbs. Into the interior, not sure what seats they are. I like the sort of custom door cards, matches the back of these seats actually, and you can see that panel where the gauges are also matches it. And check out that gear knob, that skull head. Cheeky spoiler on the tailgate. Just check out the parcel shelf, again to match the door cards and stuff with 6x9s. Yeah, that's a really, really cool Mark II Fiesta. See you, mate. All right, well, much like last year, I spent so much time chatting to people on my stand, which I'm always happy to do, but I haven't spent any time at all looking around the show at some of the other cars. So I'm going to cue some music and yeah, show you some of the other bits that are here today. All right. Well, after a quick walk round to see the few cars that were still here by the time I actually got round to taking a look round, we've packed up the stand and we're now leaving the venue after an awesome day at the Classic Ford show. Well, we made it back from the Classic Ford show. There was loads of traffic on the way home, which is always fun in a Classic Ford with an unsprung paddle clutch. But yeah, what an awesome day. Glad we made it there and back without any issues. The adjustment I made on Esther's clutch pedal and, you know, us bleeding the clutch yesterday hasn't solved the issue with the crunch in the gearbox. I was pretty sure it wouldn't solve it, to be honest, but I just wanted to try it. It crunches going into 5th, and it's usually only when you're changing down from 6th to 5th, but I do that quite regularly on the motorway when I want to drop a cog and do the off. Now I think I will set this clutch pedal stop back to how it was. It's only spaced with a half nut, which is a nut that's half the thickness of a normal nut. So I'd like to think that that hasn't caused any damage by having the pedal, having too much throw. The pedal stop still really does restrict how far this pedal goes down. So that should be good. But yeah, I'm going to put that back how it was because it hasn't solved my issue. Now the gearbox seems to have a really noisy input shaft bearing, I'm assuming, because it goes away when you press the clutch. And I'm pretty sure that if it's the release bearing, the noise is only there when you press the clutch. But I might be wrong. As always, do put any advice you've got in the comments. I know loads of you guys out there know a lot more about cars than I do. I am gonna try and, put a jack under the gearbox and remove the mount, because this mount isn't ideal. So I just want to rule out things like the gearbox mount. I might also replace the slave cylinder, or just remove the slave cylinder again and just check that the noise isn't there in neutral with the engine running before I think about taking this thing apart and replacing the gearbox again. I could probably put the gearbox back in that I removed last year, because I didn't realise then, but I obviously realised when I took it apart to change that gearbox, it was the clutch at fault then. So the old gearbox might actually be all right. Or maybe I'll have to get another Mazda RX-8 6-speed. But yeah, other than that, the battery gauge stopped working today. The coolant gauge hasn't worked for the last couple of times I've driven this thing. But that's not going to matter soon. If you're a patron, you'll know what I'm talking about there. But yeah, I've got another show to take Esther to next week. Another show that I haven't been to yet, and I've heard it's quite a good one, so looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be diving into sorting anything out on this car until at least after that show. But in the next couple of days, and I've said it so many times before lately, I do want to dive into cracking on with Heidi, my hearing aid beige Mordor Mark II Escort. Now, I want to send a massive thanks out to everyone who joined me on my club stand today. Really, really appreciate it. Massive thanks to everyone who came over and said hello, and massive thanks to everyone who very kindly grabbed some merchandise to support and represent the channel. Really, really appreciate all your support. Now, I didn't get a chance to really walk around and look at a lot of the other cars on display, which is always the case at these shows, but I do like to prioritise, being on my stand for people to come over and chat to me. There's people that came from up north. There was actually a guy that came from up north to be on my stand today. There was one guy that came over to say hello who had come from Holland. So yeah, some of these shows, it's sort of some people's only chance to, come and meet me. And, I'm just honoured that so many of you guys out there do want to come and meet me. So yeah, at the shows, I just like to prioritise being, on my stand so that people can come and meet me, rather than worrying about going around and filming every car. Although I'm really, really glad that I got to see the Mex Assist for the first time in real life. Really glad that I got to go and see Kev's rear-wheel drive Cosy powered Mark I Fiesta that I saw pictures of recently, but I wasn't allowed to post. And yeah, there was still some really cool cars that I got to check out, when I did get to walk around. But yeah, awesome day. Oh, I do want to show you a couple of bits that some people very kindly gave me today. There was one guy that came over and gave me loads of, bits like this. This one's similar to WD-40, I think, but yeah, there's some brake cleaner in there, and I'm useless at remembering people's names, but massive thanks to you for giving me all these bits. Definitely going to come in handy. One of the guys gave me a fuse box and cover. Actually, I haven't got a cover like this for Maud, my Mordor Mark II Escort. Yeah, and the fuse box and a line lock. I think that was the guy with the white Mark II RS2000, the Cosy powered one. I might be wrong, although we will be catching back up with him. That was Ian at the Ford show at Santa Pod, and he's promised me a passenger ride. So I think it was him that gave me these bits. If it wasn't, then whoever you are, massive thanks. And someone gave me 2 Revolution centre caps, because one was actually missing from Esther, so I've replaced it. These are slightly different than the other 3 that I've got, but yeah, really cool that I've now got, a centre cap on each wheel. I've been thinking for ages actually that I should take these stickers off and maybe put an MH badge on there, So yeah, really cool that I've got 4 of those now, well 5. So massive thanks to whoever it was that gave me them. Oh, and I've got this tyre gauge. I do remember who gave me this. This was Ant, because Ant of course joined me on my last drift day, and yeah, it was a bit of hassle when we wanted to try different tyre pressures. But yeah, this is going to come in really handy, so massive thanks to you, mate. So all I need to do now is get this old banger back in her garage. My beautiful girlfriend Kat has gone to the petrol station around the corner to go to the toilet because she was busting. But yeah, awesome day today at the Classic Ford Show. Hope you enjoyed the footage that I was able to capture. Massive thanks to everyone who came and said hello, as I've already mentioned. But I'm going to end this video here. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe if you're new to keep up to date with all my future uploads. Check out my website for merch and parts. Feel free to follow me on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. Massive thanks to all my Patreons for your ongoing support. All the links for all of that will be in the description, along with my email address for anyone who wants to contact me. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.